everybody, I'm Katie Arroyo.
And I'm Laura Manasowicz.
And this is Pinky Promise.
It's a podcast about growing up. And that's what we're trying to do here. And that's why our next, Jesus.
I love it. This one's staying in.
This week's guest is comedian and actor Ashleigh Rosé. Welcome, Ashleigh. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, ladies. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Golly. Ashleigh and I met on Let's Make a Deal, which is the first time any of us have gotten to say that on this podcast.
Yeah. Which I was like, I know we're supposed to talk about the past, and does that count?
Yes.
Yeah. A few months ago.
Pandemic passed.
So
That's right.
Ashleigh, did you make it onto the big stage too? Or like, okay.
I'm telling you, we were literally across from each other. Like, we had a connection from the get. Like, I was like, are you undercover, or tell me there's more creative?
Ashleigh warmed up our group of contestants with a name game in a way that I was like, Ashleigh is an improviser. And then I was like, I'm going to stand next to her and we're going to forge a friendship because we've been through the same battles.
You're like, sees like, did you do like the hand, like Laura, you were like, do you don't want to do the eights?
Yes. Oh,
that was my favorite thing about improv. Like 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2.
Yes, and kicking your feet. No, we didn't do that one. Let me tell you, I didn't know if everyone was going to join in. And mind you, I think I wasn't, like, everyone had already gotten there. So I think I was one of the last people who came, besides one other person who came really late. But, I was like, I don't know how we're supposed to know each other's names that quickly, but I do know a game. And I was like, I've got a few. Do you want to get to know each other? Okay, remember, we can't deny each other. And they're like,
Yeah, you really took control. You were a great 101 teacher in that moment.
I love it.
But they had put us, because it was like deep COVID and rules. So besides the ones that were like, we'll still be on TV, they had us holding in individual stables so that you couldn't be near each other.
So you were like little ponies.
We were like little ponies, and then we got to be in a circle
Derby.
to learn our names. And then when they brought us onto the set, we got like, everyone got their own like dining compartment, basically. Like they took what used to be like stadium seating.
Oh, wow.
Into like 10 of us each got our own pod.
And then you guys like, is the whole audience like knows each other before they start by the time they start, or you kind of just only know your 10 people in your little area?
So there were only 10 people in the room. Like, there
oh my
were only
God.
10 contestants.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because they used to have I think they said there's like 150 people.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But we had two monitors, and so we had virtual audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It was
we're both big winners.
We are. And honestly, she was like one arm away from me. Yeah. And I was like, we're winning. And she was like, and I was like, that's my girl. Like, we would look at each other and we would communicate. And I just knew that she knew that I knew that she knew what I was saying.
We're Capricorns. We're winners.
Oh, yeah. No wonder you two are organizing.
We were. That was
like, I'll bring the manila folders and you get everybody
like,
introduced.
Yes.
So
and then I was the one who fell.
Yeah.
Did you fall going up onto the stage?
Right out of the episode.
Oh, did it?
Off the stage. Okay. Thankfully, what's his name? Yes, that he was there. Listen, I have a lot of things on my mind, Wayne. Okay, he promised he wouldn't forget me. He said I was etched into his brain.
You were like, I've already forgotten you, actually.
Well, I remember him. Oh, but let me tell you, this heat is killing me. I can't remember many things, but to hydrate.
I think if I fell, I would awkwardly bring it up so much that they would have no choice but to include it in the episode or completely cut me out. Like,
no, they were like, we'll cut it out, so don't worry. But then it was like, okay, she should be able to go up the stairs, and like the nurse was like, hey, hold on, her knee's swollen. We're gonna go this way. Well, I get it. They just didn't want there to be a reason for there to be some sort of lawsuit. You know what I mean? They don't know. And so they're like, let's get her out of here. I'm like, no, hold on though.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap me up and we're going to put some ice on there because I got to dry. All right. Yeah. No, but it was so much fun. Wayne's really cool, actually. He checked on me a couple times. That's and nice. He didn't have to, you know, like she said, this was deep in the COVID. You know what I mean? Where if someone coughed, you're like,
yeah.
Somebody going to go handle that, test that forehead. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very strange. It was such a strange experience because I don't know about you. We will talk about other stories, but let's keep talking about.
This is interesting.
Now I've lost my train of thought. I was going to say, like, we had to go get tested beforehand. You couldn't, like, no one could touch Wayne. There was it was all like. It was really a testament to that. They really took it seriously. And it was like, if the cameras aren't on, your masks are on. Like, and one time the cameras came back and I had my mask on and like clapping, like, and then I like touched my face and was like,
what? Yeah.
Well, I will say if there was one thing I wish they would have done is gave us the chance to have the clear ones, because I had red lipstick on. And so the whole time I was like, I'm not pushing this back so that I can have red all around.
Yeah.
And they won't let me do it. You know, I was like, no, not today. So I was too busy worried about that I didn't pull up my dress. And then I just like,
oh man.
No, it's a memory. Hey, I'll always remember that too. You know, it's okay to go for it. And then Laura like walked me to my car and like made
of course she did.
I was like, hey, don't leave, please don't leave.
Yeah, it was nice. And then it was just like summer camp where like everyone exchanged Instagrams at the end.
That's so cute.
There was one who let us know there's no point in us exchanging. I'm not going to take your messages. And I was like, I respect that.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. No time for bullshit. Yeah.
And you're the only one I talked to.
Honestly, that's absolutely it. That's 100%, you know.
That's so funny.
I even messaged you. Like, I remember not even about did you win, but I was just like checking on you. And like, it was a genuine connection, you know, like.
Yeah, we've IG chatted a couple times. It's very nice.
Do you know?
Real fun. Holidays in there, you know.
There's like all these like bits and this idea about how men are like bad friends as far as like communicating with each other about like their problems, or like if they'll hang out all day, they'll like, there's like a Brian Regan bit where like his friend's getting a divorce and he like goes golfing all day and his wife's like, well, how is he? And he's like, I don't know, his golf swing was fine. Right, Josh is he got so upset with me when I go, oh, Laura is using some of her prize money to buy like a Peloton. And I go, she's going to put some of it towards some of that. And he goes, wait, she won like money? And I go, I guess, yeah. And he's like, how much money did she win? And I was like, I have no idea. And he goes, you don't know? And I was like, that's like not what I would care about. I was like, how was the experience?
I had the weird experience of I called Wayne Brady, and then he asked for my last name. And I was like, well, surely he won't say my last name on TV. And then he did, and then I got like a number of Facebook messages from strangers that were like, "Hey, I saw you on Let's Make a Deal. Weird that he said your last name, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's the weird part, not this exchange."
No way.
That's great.
Okay. Yeah. So we each had a little something, a little caveat.
Take home trauma.
You all left, both of you left with a little awkward. You're like, my knee is swollen. Yeah.
Yes. Let me tell you. Yeah. And it was crazy because it was like, we knew that we had to keep this secret, you know what I mean? But we both had won. Mm-hmm. And so it was like, it was so infectious because we both won, like not just one, but we claimed it. Like I remember did I tell you at the time I told my partner at the time, I said, hey, I think I'm going to win a car today. And I'm not to like boast or anything. It was just,
you just like, felt it. Yeah.
And then when I told her that, I was like, oh my gosh, he's not even going to believe me. Not even.
Just won that whole car.
That's wild. I gotta tell my boyfriend because he's gonna be pissed if he finds out that.
Hey, you need to just speed up and go watch. I think it's on YouTube now.
It aired on February 18th, 2021. Big winning episode.
That's great.
Yes. Like DJ Khaled would have definitely repped that episode. Like he was
we could get him to sponsor us. So
you're the best.
Another one.
Yeah. That's the theme. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take us farther back than February/November of 2020, 2021. Ashleigh, you were a track athlete.
Yes, I was a hurdler.
A hurdler.
Which is in a sprinter. So within the sprinters, those are the people who are running 400, a 200, a 100. I was like, let's throw some obstacles in there.
Yeah.
So I'll still run fast, but hurdle right through them. So that was my specialty. And then I also was on like a 4x1, which is you passing the baton. And then sometimes they would make me do like the 4x4, I think, to laugh. Like, it's not like I wasn't, I'm not going to come in last. I'm pushing it, but that just was not.
Yeah.
That was the race. You know what I mean? But it really built up your stamina for other things. So yeah, I got a scholarship for college, and it was guys and girls, we're all hormonal. We're all happy for the freedom. We're practicing and like, we're practicing in like underwear and bras. This is just
because everyone on track, like, so I had a very extensive track experience as a hurdler also. I ran in one true race, and then like the next practice, and this is in 7th grade, guys, remedial track, and then I bit it real hard and I could never go over another hurdle again.
We're done. We're tired.
Yeah, I was like, and tag me out. Okay, good. And then my legs never came in anyway. So like they were ripped and short, but then when everyone else got tall and ripped, I was like, wait for me. They were like, stop.
Wait, did you end up playing volleyball?
No, because I'm short. I didn't.
Setter. You could have been that setter.
People told me that as an adult. But then I was just like, oh, I'm like good at sprinting. I have big quads. And then I don't know which came first, but somehow I left high school with quads. And
no, that's a good thing. I think our generation, like who kind of grew up around that same sort of time, I think we all had thunder thighs, like many of us. Like I think this is the era of the booty, and I don't know how everyone's getting the booty, but I know I had thighs before I had booty.
Me too.
Okay? I was called ham hocks.
Yeah.
Almost all the teams that I ran on. Okay.
But the people who were like good at track have like hot, physically fit, strong bodies. Like there is no reason that anybody on the track team should be wearing any clothes. It's just like, as far as athletic bodies, it's just like beautiful legs. Usually people are lean and like muscular, and I'm just like, like anytime I watch any track athlete, I feel like I'm just genuinely watching as so I'm watching an athlete, you know what I mean? Like it just the way that the muscles move in a person's body when they run is just, it's like beautiful. But
well, the Summer Olympics, I always enjoy. I think everyone loves watching.
Yeah.
Right. So, and the hurdles. Oh my goodness. I think it's such a mental game. I don't know. I love it. I think, I'm thankful for track and field. I'm thankful for it because I have muscle memory because I have not been working out, but I've been really trying. Like now I have a waist trainer, not the waist trainer, the waist sweater. You guys, let me tell you something. What I'm trying to tell you is I'm not really working out. What I'm doing is I'm wrapping around me when I sit, when I walk, when I go outside. And as it melts and sweats, I'm like, thank you.
Talk to me about that. That's where I'm at right now.
I recommend it. Gets you started because then it's like, it's not too tight. Those waist trainers, I don't know what that's about. But this is just like you're sweating. It's this kind of the same concept. But then you don't want to eat as much because you've got that thing on there. It's like a lap band on the outside.
Yeah, your brain is like, wait, it's too tight already.
Exactly. Get you, guys, I'm gonna confess, I got mine at the 99-cent store.
Did you?
Let me tell you something.
That's smart.
99-cent stores, I know there's some that are like not whatever, but there's a few in LA that are legit. And I happen to have been near them. And I'm talking about why I pay more for Ajax than 98 cents.
Yeah, I agree. Why?
Why pay $3.99? I go in there and I like let my daughter, I'm like, you're going on a shopping spree.
You're like, you can pick 10 things.
I'm just like, whatever you fit in the basket. And then he's like putting it through and it's like, 50 cents. Oh. And it's like you get all this stuff and like it's toys and you don't mind if they're broken or anything.
Yeah.
You know, the Band-Aids don't work, whatever. I don't care.
Sure. They don't stick. But
we don't need them.
So,
extensive candy collection as well.
Oh,
really great.
Candy.
Hard to find candy at the 99-cent store.
And party stuff. And every holiday, I like to go get a couple of things if I'm going to put it on my table. Just like center things, like just little fun things to make it look like I'm celebrating.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay, we got to go back to track. We got to go back to college.
Laura's like, we are going to talk about this topic.
I'm running hurdle. Yeah, because you said again, Katie has mentioned a lot of times. Our women guests will present a list of like extraordinary, well thought out topics, and often the men will be like,
whatever you want me to
whatever
talk about.
you want, and it's maddening. So your list of topics included a number of things we've never seen before, including, and I'm going to spoil the bit here, your track team got poisoned.
Oh my goodness. And so what was it? I think this was indoor championships. And so we went to Arkansas.
And this is what year? How old are you?
Oh, I'm an actor, so I'm in range. I like to work with things like I'm between like Goosebumps. I knew what Goosebumps was, but I've also always had internet, you know?
Okay.
Oh, no, I don't
we don't need the year. We
I'm
mean
saying
like at the time of the poisoning. Are you in high school? I was like, you can tell us you were in high school. No one will know.
Listen, I'm still trying to get this face on Disney if they take me.
I hear ya,
no, I was in college.
Okay. And was your team very competitive? Like, were you guys one of the top competitive teams?
So we were a Division I track team, and so we competed with Division I schools.
Yeah.
So that's, you travel, and thankfully we had a lot of funding for us because we didn't have a football team. Oh. So we got to bring a lot of people, which a lot of track teams aren't able to. But anywho, so we were going to Arkansas. We usually compete. There's indoor track and outdoor track. So indoors during the winter because some people have snow. We don't. Okay. So we went to Arkansas. I remember we had to pack and we had to leave at like 5 a.m. And one, I hate packing to this day.
Yeah,
and two, I'm not a morning person. Mm-hmm. So thankfully you have roommates, that are on the team who are not going to. That's one thing about the track team. Is no man's going to get left behind. Okay. Like we will pull you, drag you off that track, put you in some ice, call it a day, but we are not leaving you and we are not leaving you there. So, I remember it was a long flight. And just for those of you who don't know, Arkansas is next to Tennessee. If you just need a geographical reference.
That's helpful.
But that's nothing alike. So there was literally one highway, I remember, and it was one way each way. Okay. I remember there was only maybe 3 restaurants on this long highway and none of them were recognizable. Okay. So we pretty much had taken, I'd say, if not the entire hotel, maybe there was a couple of other people from elsewhere, but it was us on every floor in every room, pretty much. And when you're in track, you get there the day before so that you can warm up, get on the track, get your muscle acclimate, whatever, especially if there's inclination, elevation.
Yeah.
So we went
I wouldn't
there.
even think of that because I would have thought everyone needs to have like a flat track. You know what I mean?
No, it's flat. But if like, for example,
the elevation of the area. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
And if it's indoor, you got to get inside and it just, like it echoes and like air, the whole situation. So, we went and did all that. And then we were all like, what are we eating? Because one, we're living in LA, we're bougie, you know, we're just like, we got this per diem, they give you money, and they're like, listen, guys, just eat in the hotel. Everyone's eating here. And we ate in that hotel. Okay. And this is pre-pandemic. So I think they had like a fruit buffet, and, you know, we're athletes. So we already get nervous. So we're over here eating the light stuff, the fruit, you know, and maybe some pasta so that the next day, or just a little bit, you know, no meat really. There's some, but you get what I'm saying. But we grubbed. We pretty much ate everything that they gave us. And so then, you know, we had a big day. And mind you, we didn't get there probably till 5 p.m. because you're jumping in time. So don't think this is a morning. We pretty much dropped down, got in the bus, and went straight to the university. So it's not like you go to the hotel, then come to the hotel, then shower, then figure out
what a fucking long day.
Yeah, it's work. I mean, that's why we, you know, thankfully we get paid to do this. I mean, you know, cool.
Yeah.
So basically, I remember being in my room, and we all had roommates for the most part. And I remember our trainer calling and saying, "Hey, how are you guys feeling? A few people have gotten sick, and we just want to make sure that you're okay." And I was like, "What do you mean sick?" And I wasn't on the call, so I was asking my roommate at the time.
Yeah.
And I said, "Hey, what are they talking about?" I was like, "Oh, someone's getting sick, tummy aches or something like that, maybe their throat." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, you know, it was a long trip." And then I was like, man, I was just about to lay down, okay, when my stomach, I was like, oh my goodness, and I got so weak, I like fell to my knees and I started crawling to the bathroom, and I was like, I won't, you know, but I was in the toilet, and then my roommate, she was like, didn't believe I was sick. She thought I was being dramatic, and I couldn't even get anything out. Like I was like, and then the coach called and was like, "Hey, just checking on you guys," because I guess people started dropping like flies.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they're calling the trainer, they're calling the coach, they're calling the assistant coach. So I'm in the bathroom, pretty much, I can't even move at this point. I think I'm literally hanging on to the toilet. And thankfully, my coach and like another captain came by the room, like, let me check on people because if they're, you know, getting sick, and opened the door, and she was just sitting on the bed. She was like, "Oh, I didn't know Ashleigh was really sick." And then he had to like pick me up physically, carry me. At this point, I couldn't even tell you how we managed to get into, I think, a van to take me to the hospital. Now,
oh my God.
Yes, I had to go to the hospital because I have a condition called neurocardiogenic syncope, which I think recently they've just named cardiosyncope or vasovagal syncope. So it's basically the vasovagal nerve that comes in the front, and some of ours are just more sensitive on the outside. So it will trigger like fluorescent lights or standing for long periods of time, me to faint. So I'm already got a sensitive nerve down there. So now it's like, it's even worse. And like, I think I'm going in and out of not maybe consciousness, or just like, I'm like, it's taking all my water. Next thing I know, we're in the hospital. I think they wouldn't give me any painkiller because they're like, we need to figure out what it is first. And I was like, just take me. Just.
Were you in pain? Like, did you have stomach cramps too?
Yes. So that's why I was like, because my vasovagal nerve, but what I'm saying is like, I mean, it was excruciating. I can describe it as like mechanical spiders inside of me. Constantly. And then having some sort of random electricity things that they're like doing and testing out every piece of like organ I have in there. I mean, I would say the probably most dramatic part was when I was just like, I'm not going to make it, am I? Like, I'm talking to myself. I was like, you're not going to give me pain medicine. I was like, it's done, huh? I can't take no more. Like, no worries. I mean, guys, it was like hours because, you know, then the muscles cramping too.
Oh yeah.
And so then I think all I know is they call my mom and they're like, hey, we're going to take her appendix out because they didn't know what was going on. I don't know how. My mom said,
but they didn't think like, hey, every other person is like 8 other people are sick too. Maybe it's food poisoning.
You know what? I'm not familiar with Arkansas, how they
I was
run
just gonna
things
say,
over
it is
there.
Arkansas. No offense to
Yeah,
Arkansas.
And I love that they're like, well, I don't know. Reason says we should take something out, so
they're like,
we'll
just
just
cut
pick
off
the
her
one with the
feet.
least consequences.
We're gonna take your tonsils out because I think you'll barf easier.
She showed no signs of appendicitis, but we're committed to the bit.
They're like, listen, we haven't seen a lot of action in this ER in a long time. Okay.
I have some med students
that, you know, and I want to get in there. So let's get the med students over here. Let's get this party started.
Oh my God.
So my mom said no. And
good for her.
Then, yeah, she's like, yeah, and we're not about to do surgery over there either.
Yeah.
And so she then I was like, oh, so now that we're not getting surgery, morphine. Yeah. Because like, oh, we'll send you home with some ibuprofen. And I grabbed it was like another sister. I was like, morphine. They're not about to play me. They're not about to do, Black women can take more
you're a strong Black athlete, so you don't need your appendix. You have no nerves.
Right? What the fuck? Oh my gosh, I'm telling you. So they gave me the morphine, and from there, I mean, I don't know, I made it somehow to my hotel room in the bed, and I woke up the next day and I had to go compete. And I'm pretty sure I won.
Oh my God.
Like, team won. I'm pretty sure the women's team won. Yeah, like and you know what? That's the life of an athlete, I will say. Like, I don't think that's anything about me. I think like you're taught to run through pain. You're taught to have a broken whatever and just keep going, which is something I think that's bad as an adult because, you know, then you suck at self-love, self-care, mental health,
asking for help,
paying attention to other people. Yeah.
Then be a Capricorn on top of that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Come on.
My ex played women's lacrosse for a huge school, and it was like one of their bigger sports, and she was goalie, and
I already know who it
is. And her ankle is really fucked up now, and so it started getting fucked up then, and it was like at one point it was actively broken. And so what they would do is they would wrap it specifically for the games, and like she said, like someone would have to like two people would like carry her to the goal, and then she would play on it, and then they'd have to carry her back off the field. And she was just like, I just learned, she's like, I probably like permanently damaged that, but you're there on a scholarship, and they make it seem like that is the most important thing in the whole world, is that you play this fucking game and you guys win. And like, so she's like definitely
also peer pressure too, like, you know, it's almost like,
your team is like, we need you. Yeah,
but they're also like, oh, I broke my butt cheek hip, I win, and I did another race that I don't even run, and you're like, great for you. And is that not the same mentality like pre-pandemic, where people were like, yeah, I worked like 129 hours this week.
Oh yes.
No sleep.
These aren't badges of honor. This is like people taking advantage of you, or you allowing yourself to burn out.
Yeah.
It's not admirable. We have to break our brain of that
idea
mentality.
Yeah.
But it did, I will say, like, it did instill like in me and probably others, you know, like there's a will, there's a way, you know, you have to kind of like look at your battles, look at your wars, but the body is incredible. The body really can do what the mind wants it to do. And so I will say, like, where that has helped me is like performing on stage. Like, you know, you get nervous before almost every race. So you are used to having butterflies, but you learn to manage them. Like, you learn to come up with a visual, like you learn skills, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh no. Sorry about that. I'm so thankful for that. Okay, that was a mess, what I just showed you, but that's real. Okay. But yeah, so then so then we went on, and okay, so then I'll tell you, I think a year later, I got a bill for like $13,000, and it was saying like that they wanted to collect money. I mean, it was a whole ordeal. and you have insurance through the school. So I can't remember this or not, but I'm pretty sure I got it in summer. Like I wasn't even near. I was like, I am not paying this.
No.
I was like, you need to handle this. And I was like, and if something happens on my credit, I was like, you guys will be co-signing for me for a few years. And they paid that sucker real quick.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So you were the only one who ended up in the hospital.
Yeah. So
everybody else was just puking in the hotel.
Too. I couldn't even be there. Like, so everyone else was pretty much backing up the systems, and then we had nowhere to eat. So we were all like eating out of vending machines because we didn't trust them. Oh, you should have seen. And I thankfully was friends with a lot of throwers. Okay. And throwers come with lunch pails full of food. Okay. Like a sandwich. Oh no, they come with like a green burrito, enchilada, ribs, okay, potato salad. Like they have all the they'll bring a grill and grill while doing the competing.
Yeah, because they don't have to run. They're not gonna poop their pants. They can do whatever they want.
And your roommate never got sick?
No, thankfully she didn't. Good for her. You know what I mean?
Good for her. Yeah.
It was incredible because, the woman is so strong. Women are so strong, and we can endure a lot, because I know had that been a guy in my situation, he probably would have stuck himself with me. Like, I'm going to get some pain, like, through a fit or, and I don't know, just like I said, that was an incredible time in my life, because nowadays I wish someone, like I said, I fell and I was like, oh, we need some medication. Wait, I just need you to look at me really quick to recognize that this was an embarrassing moment. Like I need all sorts of affirmations. Okay.
Yeah. I do feel like as I age, I was like, there are certain pains that I know I could live with, but then I'm like, why am I living with that? Like, I just gotta take care of, like, when you're young, you're just like, yeah, I don't know. I remember like jet skiing, and I was riding the jet ski backwards because I was spotting my friends who were tubing, and my friend's brother was driving, and we like fell. Like he crashed into a wave or whatever, and the rope was taut in my legs. It like smashed against my leg, and it took a chunk out of my leg. And I like swam, swam around, got back up on the thing, got up on the dock, and then all my friends were like, "Oh my God!" And I was like, "What?" And I looked down, and my leg is like pouring blood, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. All right. And just like went about my day. Like I have a horrible scar because I didn't go get stitches. Like,
you have a memory, honey, of some toughness. You know what I mean? Like that's what that was. Okay. And that's true. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like that's what I want my child. Like when she falls, I don't react. I just be like, oh.
Are you okay? Yeah.
Happened? No, not are you okay?
Okay,
don't give them
tell me what happened. Yeah.
Wait for them to have the cue, and she'll be like, "Oh, okay, mommy." And like some things have looked really crazy. Like some, she's, and I still be like, "What happened?" And she's like, "Oh, okay, mommy." And I'm like, okay. And then like I put a timer to let this baby sleep for 2 hours. She could have a concussion.
Just in case.
Call the nurse real quick. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I feel like I had a lot of like actual injuries from things that shouldn't be. Like I fell in the grass and split my knee open and had to get 3 stitches. Like just an injury that I was like, this should be fine, and like get up and try to keep going, and then like roll my pants up and my knee is like, I'm like, okay, I guess I have to tell an adult. Like this one, no one's
was this real grass or was it
like AstroTurf?
Yeah.
No, it was like regular yard grass. There was no reason for what happened. But
that is wild. Like you're one of those people, which is amazing, who falls going up the stairs.
Listen, right? I've been on antibiotics twice for bruises that got infected.
What? How'd that even happen?
No. The first time I somebody smashed a frisbee, like threw a frisbee real hard into my shin. Not on purpose. I just didn't catch the frisbee.
What frisbee are you guys playing? Like warrior frisbee? Like
I felt like it was birthday party frisbee, but like that. There was like instantly a bruise, and then it like the bruise kept getting like red and warm and growing, and I had to get an antibiotic for it. And then the second time I was getting out of somebody's.
Who told you to go get help? Because it didn't sound like it was you.
No, eventually it was. Well, you know what? That might not be true. The second time it was my mom, because the second time she was like, "We're not doing what you did the first time again." But I remember like one of the urgent care doctors was like, "This is from shaving," and I was like, "No, it's not." And he was like, "Yeah, no."
Was it a guy?
Yeah, of course, it was
yeah.
Old man. And he was like, "This is what happens when you shave." And I was like, "Well, like this happened to me before, which is embarrassing to admit, but like this is what this is. I need just like a Z-Pack or something." And he like wouldn't, and it was like a fight to get it. And now I like permanently have like my bone feels like this in there. So it's, you know. So yeah, I'm an adventurous too. I can definitely take something that should be benign.
I can tell that we could go to a lake. Do you know what I mean? Like we could go to a cabin and a lake and be on a boat and like know that we're gonna all push through to survive. And that's all I need. I need to know that you're not gonna just give up mid, down. I need to know that you're like, no, somebody come get me. Hello, the leg it's bit by a sea creature. Help me. And no, we're gonna go in there, and then at the end, we're gonna have this magical day, and we're gonna end the day with some rosé. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Right?
I will say I think Laura, I'm sure Laura's definitely heard this story. I went to Florida with one of my girlfriends because we were supposed to run this half marathon race. And the day before the fucking race, I booked this kayaking trip for us that was supposed to be in this alligator infested water, and you were supposed to be able to see alligators and whatever. So it was rainy and cold, and we called to see if it was going to be canceled, and they were like, "No, it's not canceled, just come on down." Neither of us had like appropriate winter weather. Like we didn't have appropriate, and it was February. We thought it was Florida and it would be warm, and we were dumb. So I'm in a jean jacket and she's in like a thin hoodie, and we have like flip-flops on. And the weather ended up being so bad that when we like pulled out eventually, like 8 miles later or whatever it was, we were the only crew, like we were the only tour that did it that day because every single other tour canceled. But there was a point where the instructor or the tour guide, it was like her first alone tour. And a few times she said, at least there's only a few white caps. Like that's how crazy the water was. And there was a certain point where she goes, like, I'm on this kayaking trip and we kayaked for like an hour and a half, and I was like, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like in my mind, I'm like, this is enough kayaking for me. And I asked the lady, I go like, hey, like how long is this tour? Because why would I have checked that when I booked it? And she goes, it's about 8 miles. And I was like, oh, cool. Like how far have we gone? And she was like, about 2. And I was like, fuck. And there's no turning around. There's no roads. You're in like the baby part of the Everglades at this point. And the lady was like, because she was freaking out and started like wrapping us like on the tour. She was like wrapping us in everything she had in her backpack. So I'm wearing like a poncho, like a plastic garbage bag that I wrapped around my legs to stay warm and whatever. And there's a certain point where, we had to kayak in this like open water area. Like it opened into this like something that was getting fed from the ocean. So the lady was like, this part gets really rough. And she was freaking out, I think, at that point. But we were just like in the woods basically by ourselves. It was like me, my friend in the other boat, and a couple. And that was it. That was the whole tour. And we get into the open water part, and the current was so crazy that like the couple was floating behind us. Like they started like separating, and I told my friend Katie, I turned and looked at them, and I like just turning made me lose like momentum, and then I was like, they're gonna die. Like I was just like, bye. Like I was like, I can't save them, so I started paddling, and I will say, I've never felt in my whole life, even hiking, like I hiked Mount Washington, I've never felt in my whole life like you are going to die if you don't like do this physical thing, but also feeling like you cannot do this physical thing. Like we were paddling, and I was like, and I also, to my fucking friend, when we started the tour, they go, do you want 1 kayak or 2 kayaks? And I said 1, and she said 2, and we were screaming to each other because that's how loud the wind was. And I go, I don't think I can do this. And she was like, it's really hard. And I go, wouldn't it be nice if we were both in the same kayak? Because like it was to the point where I was like, can we just get out in the swamp? Like I was like, let's just get out. No. And she goes, how are we gonna? Yeah, there was really there was no place to stop because like it was just swamp. And I was like, yeah, and I go, maybe we should get out. And she goes, how will we carry the 2 kayaks? I go, it should have been 1. But I will say, like, my body was done. Like, I was so done. And then I was like, you literally can't stop, because if you stop paddling for 1 second, the tide was like carrying us out into God knows where. And we dug deep and did it, and then we got out the place where we were supposed to be. The whole car was silent, and I heard someone outside be like, that should have been canceled. Like,
got canceled.
Good Lord. And I'm sure on top of the physical strain, the like endorphins surging or like the adrenaline surging through you is gonna like wipe out any remaining shards of energy.
Wait, so did you end up on a marathon? Half marathon?
Yes. Well, and honestly, we got in the car and I was like, I don't want to do it tomorrow. And she's like, me either. And then I told my boyfriend, who you guys met, I was like, dude, the day that we just had, I was like, was so crazy. And he goes, I'm so proud that you guys had that crazy day and you're still going to do it tomorrow. And I was like, ugh.
Wait, I thought you were going to say, Josh said, but can she mute other people?
That's a little inside baseball for you guys, listeners. If he did, I would have just jumped back into the kayak and kayaked into the nothing.
Because that's amazing. We really got to know each other. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. We got insights. I have to tell you, because kayaking, they make all the pictures make it look peaceful. They got a whale jumping in the background. No, first of all, that's just like lifting weights and then using that weight, because that's how it feels. Your arms are like, I want to stop. Yeah. It's like, first of all, give me an electric kayak. I don't need to work.
Yes. Or a leg one. Like, can I get some kind of leg action? Because my arms are like, no.
I'll keep make sure I don't go over. Oh no.
Yeah.
But have either of you ever done paddle boarding?
No, I keep wanting to. Me too. Even though I know it's a lie that I don't have the core strength to glide in the water.
Okay, they always want to do it at the marina, and the marina is the nastiest water. It's the boat water. It's right there.
Yeah, you're like and jumping in boat oil.
That's what I'm afraid of. Like, I'm like, I don't mind whatever, but I'm like, if I touch this, like, and then I don't want people to be next to me who are going to be splashing. Like, this water's disgusting. I don't care if there was eel in it. This is gross. Okay. And then they're like they want us to do yoga on it. And I was like, no, first of all, let's just get to the destination and get back, because honestly, I didn't want to do this in the first place. This is my friend's birthday. She wants us, because she was always a friend, one of those friends. It was the same friend who had me skydive. Come on, Ash.
This is Katie.
Oh, I was like, I think I'm that friend.
Yeah. You are that friend. Talking about end you wish we only had one kayak? Like you are. You're
I watched Katie climb into the Grand Canyon for photo ops going, do you want to come down and take this picture? I'm like, no, I'll take it. I'll take it from up here.
I was like, Laura, it's beautiful. Like, come down with me. She was like, I'm good.
I'd like to get to California, Laura, so I'll stay out of the Grand Canyon.
But she risked it. She risked it. That's a real friend. She took that photo for you because a lot of people take that last photo and take it off, okay?
Yeah.
And they got to live with pain that they took it. And they got to give it to the mom now.
The funny part is I had been like, as we walked around, I kept like showing her like, look, it's safe. It's fine. Look, it's so great. And I think I almost got her to come down and someone like, 20 feet away or whatever, like slipped, and Laura was like, no, I'm good. And I was like, I'm not getting her in this creek. I'm not getting her in this canyon.
No.
Well, I'm kind of from the outside. Because had you gone down there, that probably would have been another infection on your leg or something.
Yeah, 100%.
That's true.
I would,
you'd get some bad razor burn if you fell down the Grand Canyon.
That's right. Okay, so Ashleigh, you're paddleboarding because it's that friend. It's Katie. It's your equivalent, your friend equivalent of Katie's birthday.
Yes, he is that person. And so we're paddleboarding. We're in San Francisco Marina. Okay, and so no one's ever gone there. It's not like people go to SF and like, I gotta go to the marina. No, like that's the part that was literally sinking. Okay, it's not she's trying to go. And so we're paddling out there, you know, we finally get comfortable standing, but there's always those people who kind of want to be next to someone so that they can kind of fall on you. And I'm like, hey, I had to tell strangers that were her friends, but I didn't know them. I was like, hey, listen, I need you because you're making me nervous. You know, like this is where your personality comes out. Like you'll be like, I need you to back up. Okay,
we don't
go away.
We don't mess around in the water. So.
And then you start calling your friend. My friend Ren. I'm like, Ren. You need to get your friend. Like that's when you're like, I'm gonna delegate this situation because she's a little wobbly. Maybe she's not ready for this. And then we had wetsuits on, and so I was like, do people normally fall over into this water, or like what sort of a situation skill level are we working with, guys? They took us all the way out to where the marina meets the ocean. Now, everyone knows Alcatraz is out there. Okay, now. You don't have to know that Alcatraz is a prison. You have to know all the history. But when we hear Alcatraz, we hear that people were locked up and they could not escape the island. Okay, there's a reason. It wasn't just the sharks. It was them waves. Okay, like at night, because that's when they would have been escaping. That's the water was like not clear, but it was really beautiful when we were paddling. It was dirty, but it was beautiful. That ocean water. That thing must have dropped to some other levels because it was blue,
would freak me out. That would freak me out.
And then they were like, come on, Ash. And that's when I was like, nope, there's a limit to my love. I'm going to head back. This is a loop. Goodbye. I was like, I don't need clearly, you're on a different level. They were over there trying and I think somebody did fall in. And I was just like, I can't help you because the water's dirty. You know what I mean? So I didn't make a new friend. I did not make a new friend, but I kept an old one. So that's okay with me.
That's a win.
I just like,
is that a girl thing? Like a woman thing? Like we like to like get our friends like to do stuff that we're kind of on the cusp about, but we're like, it's a little dangerous or right. It's like, what guys, we're in a house and have 7 strippers come and perform in every room. Like, you know, it's like taking things to another level. Why do we have to do that, guys? Because
we read online that it's fun and we can't not be fun.
We want to be so fun. We also want the friend who says no, so we can be like, okay, fine, because you said no, but secretly make a big everyone's thing of it.
Thank you.
Well, okay, then I have to say then who my friends, my group at the time, like there were no girls. So it was like if someone else came in, that was the issue, is that they were with a whole bunch of like, yes, like meaning if somebody fell off, we're going to properly get you back to the hotel, get your outfit changed, get you bathed, get you some medication, and we're going right back out. You know what I mean? Like,
there's no girl.
No.
That's dangerous.
I'm telling you, that's why I was like, post pandemic, I was like, a few things got to change. I was like, I'm tapping out. Like, I'm going to tap out of a lot of stuff. Even if I make it, I'm like, let's bring back kickbacks, like where you don't have to, you bring something, there's music playing. That's it. There's couch,
enough seats for everybody.
Pillows, like it's cozy and it's a vibe and people just, knowing when it's time to leave. Yes. Everything has to happen.
Out. And if you're hosting, feeling free to say, okay, get out.
Right. Or is anyone on here that person who just goes to bed and leaves people out?
I had a friend. Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on who's at my home, but I truly will be like, especially now, I'm in a podcast right now and they'll be like telling me a boring story and I'll go, hey guys, since the pandemic, I've lost a lot of patience for conversations I'm not interested in. So we have to cut this short.
Wait, what is your sign?
Gemini.
Okay.
So just straight up crazy.
Basically, what you just said was crazy, and I had to make sure that I noted that because I was like, Laura, I know that's your friend, but I'm not going to sit up here and act like that wasn't.
No. But I've had like.
I love
yeah. No, but I've had friends, like, especially my close friends, since I was young. One would come over and she just won't. She's the kind of friend where I have to start saying goodbye as soon as I say hello because if I need the conversation to end, she's just not gonna. And she would come over and be like talking or watching TV, and it would be like 1 a.m, and I would be like, do whatever you want. You know where the guest room is. I'm going to bed. Like
for a very long time, I have been like the is Laura sleeping over? Like, no. It's been like joked about that. Like Laura's not sleeping over, and I'm like, do I have to? Is my bed within 60 minutes? Then I'm not sleeping on whatever you're offering me in place of it. I love to go to sleep, and I'm going to do that.
No, Laura, thank you for that because. We need to have like what is it like this is not a news break but like this is
like a PSA.
PSA. Yeah, like guys, no one wants to sleep over unless they have to, especially if their bed's comfortable. If your friend shops at Home Goods, she wants to sleep at her own bed because that means that's right. She made sure that there's an aesthetic that when she goes in there, she probably plays like some calm music that has like so many megahertz.
She's got a special pillow.
Yes. I know all the waves. I know all the waves to coast to sleep.
Yes. And I'm with you on that. Like, I feel like I'm the worst person to spend the night because I'm up early. Like, I'm not an early person, but I never feel like I can sleep in. And so I'll be up abnormally at like 5. All right, packing my things. All right, heading on out.
Sneaking off into the night because it's technically still dark.
Yeah. And I'm a comic, so I'm like, there could be a show. You can go hit on a show. It's only midnight, whatever. It's like it's so different, but I don't mind people staying over. Like I am a host.
Oh,
like I
love that.
I don't mind. Like I'm just like that makes me comfortable. Like I don't mind feeding people, and like giving them that like. I get comfort out of people being comfortable.
Me too.
But I will say that pre-pandemic hosting events, whatever people enjoyed, they better just keep it because it's definitely on another level post-pandemic. I'm not going above and beyond. I'm really just hitting that average point.
That's good. Yeah. That's good.
So what I'm hearing is in our post-pandemic life, we are bringing out the no friend in whatever way works for us.
Within ourselves, like we are
within ourselves,
and supporting other, I would say women also with the no's. Like I found myself in very public situations supporting other women with like a no or whatever. Like I remember I was in the grocery store, which I try not to go to, but I was, and she was taking a long time, and I said, girl, if you don't take your time and quit rushing and let that baby scream, I said, nobody is who, if someone comes over here, I got you. Calm down and live your best life. It's okay. You don't need to rush. Even with parking, I'm like, I have nowhere to go. Take your time. I want the spot. Like, you don't have to keep looking out. I'm fine. We've established that we're going to make an exchange. Okay.
Yeah.
Relax. We don't have
I feel like that. Yeah. I was actually just in the grocery store the other day and I picked up a birthday cake for a friend. But then, of course, that I was like, well, I'm here, but I'm not going to get a basket. So I was just holding everything. And this woman was like, please go ahead of me. And I was like, no, it's fine. She's like, you're holding stuff. And I was like, I have so much more than you. And she was like, just please, like, it's totally fine. And I was like, I could have gotten a basket. Like, I appreciate it. And I am totally fine. Like, I was like, I'm so chill right now. And I don't know why.
Right. Because you're out. Like,
I think we're just happy to be out.
Yeah. And talking to people, I feel like I've always been a talker because my family's from like the South and the Midwest. And so you talk, but, post-pandemic, it's like when someone, especially someone's servicing me, I'm like, I need to know your name. And I want to make sure that, this is an exchange of energy going on. Like, I appreciate, like normal stuff, like where we would just be looking at our phone, like we need that because I sometimes wonder, was I living a human life before? Because like I felt like, I don't know about you, please share. I feel like a lot of, especially as a comic, it's like this hustle mentality of like doing as many shows, showing that like you're bookable, and as an actor as well, being like, oh, it's like people from Harvard being like, oh yeah, I go to school in Cambridge, rather than just being like, I go to fucking Harvard, right? So you're like saying everything, but I'm an actor, and so I need to take care of my skin and my body and my clothing, and that's why I'm going to go get waxed. You're like, oh, I just have some errands to run, and now it's kind of like, listen, these are tax write-offs, and I need to go handle my business. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and I think something we've talked about before is like, we kept ourselves so busy so we didn't have to do the thinking about ourselves and the what we want and need, et cetera, et cetera. And then that came to a screeching halt for so long that it was like, you're telling me I'm left with my thoughts?
Yeah.
Well, I don't like this. And then you got to work through your shit.
Yeah.
That's a scary ass movie that you just pitched. It's true. What, like, them thoughts? Oh my God. Like,
ooh, no.
I don't know how.
Last weekend we went out and I messed up ordering lunch. I was like, tried to go like walk up to the person behind the counter and order my lunch. Like I have a million times. And I was like, you're not the eyes, like any of the 3 pairs of eyes I've looked at face to face for the last year. So I like completely botched ordering lunch and then went shopping to try to find an outfit for an event that I have to go to. And I was like, I'm supposed to try to find formal wear for what I've been like hibernating for 14 months. And I was like completely overwhelmed, and I like killed my mood for the whole rest of the day. And then the next day it was like pick yourself up. It was like, you can't let going outside beat you because you're gonna have to go back out again. So I bought a coffee successfully somewhere. I spent a bunch of money on clothes I didn't need, but I kind of needed. And I was like, look at this. And I like talked to these wonderful shop owners and like thanked them for having like inclusive sizes. And then I told them that I was doing socialization physical therapy. They were like, keep coming in. You're gonna get better.
They're like, okay. That's so cute.
I was like, I couldn't say any of these words yesterday, but I'm really trying to get today.
Because you know what? We put too much value on words and saying things correctly rather than the communication. That's what words are for, is to communicate clearly. So if someone gets what you're saying, but they don't say it properly, for heaven's sake, who cares? Like, you got it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do when you
was done? Yeah.
But I agree with you. I'm just happy to hear that I'm not alone on this quest of this new journey of kind of like finding balance. And
I think a lot of people are doing that.
Right? I think a lot of people are. I will say there are less people that are doing it is that I've encountered than people who really want to go back to the way things were. And I will tell you that when people say that to me, 9 times out of 10, probably never going to hang out with them again, because something's not registering up there. That there was, if you can't find one thing about the past that wasn't working for you, like that you want to jump right back in it, like this didn't do anything for you, and we are not vibrating on the same level. And not that that's bad, it's just that I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? And we used to tolerate energies that weren't like that. We're now, it's so visible to see when people are on a hamster wheel, or so visible when people are not doing what they want. They have someone, they're a puppet for someone else. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh gosh, I don't have time for this. I can't save you. Right? Like I think also like latchkey kids mixed with like post-millennial Gen X, definitely had a lot of exposure to parents living vicariously through them, these expectations through school, through AP honors, all these competitions. No one taught us how to manage money. No one taught us how to deal with our emotions, our feelings. No one taught us how to deal with failure. And also, like finding our passions. It was just, what do you want to study in college? Right?
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to, at some point, when someone does a study on us and how fucking incredible we are, because we're game changers. Like did you guys read Tim Ferriss's book 4 Hour Work Week like years ago?
No.
That's okay. I read it for you. So it was basically essentially a preview to what we're doing now. Like, he was basically suggesting that, listen, make the life that you want. So if you want a Ferrari, just figure out how much it will cost for you to get a Ferrari for that month, each month, and the insurance. And then that's how much money you need to make. And then you figure out, oh, okay, you're in sales. Well, this is how many you need to sell to live that life. Like, it's pretty mathematical. But also he was like, if you want to travel, like, this was like one of the first writers I saw do that and really break down how to get your business to start allowing you to work from home. So you know what I mean? And now all of us are in the position to work from home. And now the gatekeepers are like, right, they're the baby boomers who the men wanted these jobs so that they didn't have to really participate in the family life. Like, hey, we need to get back in there. We need to get back in the office, guys. Like, because overhead, we love overhead. Let's spend $90,000 on a lease in a place for 9. You know what I mean? Gosh, you guys gave me some new material. I'm gonna have. I think I'm passionate.
You're like, I have some things to think about.
I think I like that just as much as when people tell us it feels like therapy. I think giving comics new material feels just as good in my heart.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was an active part. Like, together we collaboratively, like Captain Planet, put our rings together. And we're like Power Rangers and we're transforming.
Well, I think that's right. Yeah, no, but when you said, I asked myself if I was living a human life, I have said that exact idea multiple times, like recently, where I've been like, dude, it just makes you feel like I wasn't really living before. I was just like I was doing actions that were towards a goal, but I wasn't giving myself any time to like live in that experience or like appreciate it, I guess. You were just like, get in the fucking car, I gotta go to work, then I'm gonna try to squeeze a workout in, then I'm gonna get in my car and drive to a gig, then I'm gonna drive back home, go to sleep, wake up, then I'm gonna edit a podcast. You know what I mean? Like, you're just doing these tasks.
You're doing tasks.
Yeah. So this made us like have time to be like, what do you actually enjoy doing? Like, what is something you like to do?
That's the hardest, especially I remember there was a point where I know you guys encounter some form of traffic back in the day where it was just like almost accounting every hour for something. So if I'm in traffic, it's not enough for me just to be in traffic. It's
you had to be writing.
No, and also podcasts. You should be learning another language. You should be, like, it was like, what in the world? Like, I don't need to be productive. Who came up with that? Like, no.
Or it doesn't take me as long to be productive as I've been conditioned to believe it does. I can produce in times that work for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How many of you, I make it seem like we're at like a TED Talk. How many of you out there? No, but honestly, how many have you guys been in a job where, honest to goodness, you got everything done in probably the first 3 hours, or you made sure, and then the rest of the time
most people,
jobs, you were doing other things, but you had to pretend. See, that's the problem right there, is like 8 hours of what? You want me to pretend like I like the music you're playing, that you're clipping your toenails at a desk next to me. Like, it just goes to show you, these people need to go home. Okay, your toenail clipper should have never made it here. You don't have time to clip your toenails at home. That should have been all of our first sign. Like, hey, I think we all need to come together. Something has really troubling happened, and we all need to get out. Like,
yeah.
This is a true story, guys. So I was working at this company. We were on like the 9th floor, and I think there was only 12 floors. I don't know. So we're at the top, and the smoke alarm goes off. Like there's a fire in the building. They literally were like, I mean, are you gonna really? I go downstairs. Like it's probably not. And I was like, yeah, I'm
yeah.
Like, what kind of pressure is that? Like, what sort of absurd? You're going to risk your life for this, right?
Well, you can go outside, but most of us aren't going to.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, you went out for that cigarette break. Didn't you ask me if I wanted to come for all that? You know, like, yeah, I'm going outside and I'm going to walk around the block and I'll come back when they say, like, what? It's like, what are you able to get done in that moment where you really probably needed a break that you must continue? Like, what badge? Like, I get it if you're, you know, humping the CEO. I get it. You're like, I got to get as much as I can. But if that's not the situation, there's no come up. You need to go outside and go to a happy hour and then come back in and act like you didn't even go. Like, you know?
Yeah.
No, which segues me to like the younger millennials, or what's below a millennial? Generation Z?
I think so, yeah.
Below a millennial, yes.
Okay, so I have this theory where like they're really sweet and I think they're very creative, but because they grew up just texting and stuff, they believe in working hard. Like they think that because they work hard that they'll get something or they deserve it. Like they have a value system on working hard, and so they don't play. Like they don't, you know, I remember there were times I would come into work like hungover on a Thursday because I was like, Thursday's just an early Friday. But like that didn't mean that my work suffered. It just meant that I was a young person in my 20s living my best. And I'm like, gosh, I feel so bad that like, because what's going to happen is that midlife crisis is going to hit a little earlier because you're not having fun. You're saving your money for what? Like to get married? Like, come on. Like if you don't go travel, go to Joshua Tree.
Of like, yeah. I think that's a whole other thing. There's an idea with youth now where they're like, I want to make so much money so I can retire at 30. And you're like, that's wonderful. But like, what is your plan for the next 30 years? Like, what do you retire? And then do what? Like, do what with your money? Like, and they're like, just exist and get likes on social media. And you're like, that's not a life either. Like, working to the bone's not a life, but also neither is that. It's just interesting.
Right. Preach, girl. Preach on it. Mm-hmm. This is therapy. I like this podcast.
We were 2 for 2.
That's our goal.
And now that we've achieved all our goals, Ashleigh, where can people find you on social media? What are you doing? You're busy all the time.
Yeah. What are you doing to be productive?
So my productivity as of today, I like no. Usually you can find me at official Ashleigh, Leigh. Soon you'll be able to do Ashleigh Rosé with an accent on the E. Yes, I'm extra. And I have a Linktree that's in my bio. And so if you just do official Ashleigh Linktree, you'll find it. And on there is where I'll have my shows. Like I have a show on Friday. I have a show on Friday for fundraising for Patrick Henry Middle School. It's actually a Zoom show. You should definitely tune in. It's going to be funny. Mary Kennedy's on there. She's from Shameless. We have Ro Delagrazi. She's been in the game forever. She's hilarious. She's headlining. I'll also have a show. My comedy partner, Mistress K, will be in San Clemente. So OC come through to Knucklehead's Bar at 8:00 on that same day. I know I'm doing 2 shows at once. And then the secret comedy show that's in Woodland Hills. So if you go to my link, you'll find it. And that one is at 5:30 on Saturday. So you got options, you know?
Yeah.
But most importantly, hit me up. Like, you know, I love when people follow people. But you can say things too, like, hey, you want this? Or, you know, are you lactose intolerant? And I'll be like, I am. You know, that's where I think small talk is so appropriate, is in the DM.
Yeah.
Small talk.
I like it.
Ashleigh's DMs. Follow her, go to her shows if you're in Southern California, and follow us, like us. Please.
Yeah, share our podcast, subscribe, write reviews, please. We love them. just send this episode to someone that you need. Send this episode to your no friend and say, I am grateful for you.
That's right.
Yes. Yes. This is episode 51, honey. So, it's vibrating, honey. It's like, listen. Send this to your friends that need some self-love, some self-care, need some humor, laughter is the best medicine. And if we're laughing, I know if someone's watching this, they're like, okay, girl, if you don't turn this up, okay, this is some reality.
Yeah.
Right?
And send this to your high activities friend and tell them, could you calm down? Do you see this? People want you to stop, and we don't know how to tell you.
And here, let's make a Jill friends. Anyone who watches
go on a game show, make a friend, invite them on their podcast, and
win a car.
Come home winners.
That's so great. We all win, just like DJ Khaled. Okay.
That's right. Well, thank you for listening. Yeah. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.